physics problem. Let's do number 18 right here. I'll read it to you, and then I'll pause. I'll let you pause the video and answer part of the question. A ball is launched horizontally from a table that's 0.9 meters above the floor, and it lands 1.3 meters from the table horizontally. That's not the total distance, right? That's just the distance horizontally. Suppose the ball is now launched at a 45-degree angle above the horizontal from the same point with the same velocity, magnitude velocity. I should put that in there. I'll add that in there. How far does the ball travel horizontally in this case? Okay, what I want you to do, sketch a picture. Write down everything that you know. Write down what you're trying to find. Just do those things and then come back to the video and then we'll work on it together. Okay, so here is my pause. So pause the video and answer that. Okay, I assume you paused it. I'm going to sketch a picture. We actually have two problems here. So I'm just going to do the first problem. So the first problem says that the ball, I should have done it in a different color, like this, is launched horizontally. And it starts a height h and it travels a distance x. So v0 equals, we don't know. X initial, let's call this the initial location. So x0 is 0 meters, y0 is h, which is going to be equal to 0.9 meters, and then x final is 1.2 meters. Is that right? 1.3. I was really close. What else do I know? I know the initial y velocity, vy0, is 0, right? Because it's shot horizontally. I know the y acceleration is negative g, and that's that. Okay, so let's just do this one problem, okay? And then we'll come to the second problem. So what I want you to do is to choose which kinematic equations to use and see if you can solve for the initial velocity. You can get it as a numerical value, or you can write it as an expression. And I'll let you pick the way you want to do it. But go ahead and take what we have here, just this first part of the problem, and find the velocity that the ball is launched with. Pause. Okay, so in this case for projectile motion, I have the following two equations. X is x naught plus v x naught t, and that's that. There's no acceleration in the x direction for projectile motion. I mean, there is, it's zero acceleration. The y equation says y is y0 plus vy0t minus 1/2 g t squared. So those are my two kinematic equations for projectile motion. The horizontal motion is independent of the vertical motion. The only thing that they share is the time. So this time that it takes to go a distance x is the same as that time it takes to go a distance y. Up here, I want to find the initial velocity in the x direction because that's the initial velocity. It's launched in the x direction. But I don't know time and I don't know x, even though x0 is 0. So I can't use that. But over here, I can solve this equation for time. So let's do that. So if I put in the things I know my final y final is 0 because it lands on the floor. So I have that. I know my initial y velocity is 0 because it's launched horizontally. So I have 0 equals h, the height. That whole term is 0 minus 1/2 gt squared. So I can solve this for time. I get 1/2 gt squared equals h. If I multiply by 2 and divide by g, and then take the square root, well, it's t squared, is going to be 2h over g. So t is the square root of 2h over g. So now I know the time. Now I can use that up here. So I have x equals x0, which is 0. v0, I'm just going to call it v, because that's the total velocity is v0, times this time. Square root of 2h over g. Now I want to solve for v0, so I can divide both sides by this, and I get v0 is going to be equal to this, it's going to be x final times the square root of g over 2h. Let's put that over here, just so we have it. v0 is x, the square x1. I'm going to call it x1. x1, because we're going to use another x, g over 2h. Let's just check. One of the things when you get an expression like that, you're like, I don't know if that's right. Let's check the units on that. If it has the wrong units, it's wrong. So right here I have g is in meters per second squared. I divide by meters, h, and I get 1 over second squared. Now I take the square root of 1 over second squared, and I get 1 over seconds. And I multiply by a distance in meters, I get meters per second. So it is a unit for velocity, so that's a double thumbs up good right there. Okay, so that's my expression for the velocity. If you want to plug in the numbers, you could, and you can get that as a number, but we don't need it. So what I want you to do for the next part is to change the diagram, write what we know, and what we're trying to find. And just do the rest of the problem. So draw the new picture, modify your kinematic equations, and solve for what you need to know. So go ahead and pause. I assume you paused. So I put that down there so I can erase. I don't need to erase that. Let's keep that back up there. Okay. So the only difference now is that I'm going to launch the ball at an angle. And I did pick theta is 45 degrees because I thought that would be fun. Because, I'll go ahead and warn you, if you say, I'm going to use the range equation, you're going to be wrong. The range equation is for one special case. It does not work here. Okay, just letting you know. And you can try that later. I'm not going to do the range equation because I think it's stupid. So what changes over here? Now I do know the initial velocity. It's right down here. My x position is still the same. My y position is still the same. My y final is still the same. This is no longer the same. And this is no longer 0. The initial y velocity is now going to be v0 sine theta. So remember that if I launch this at some angle, here's my v0 vector. I have an x velocity, vx0, and then I have a y velocity, vy0, and this is the angle theta. So since that's a right triangle, the magnitude, you can't even see that. There. Since I know the magnitude of the hypotenuse is v0, and I know the angle, I can find the adjacent and the opposite side. So the opposite side, we know that sine is opposite of hypotenuse. So if I solve for opposite, I get v0 sine theta. And over here, my initial x velocity, which I didn't put, vx0, is going to be v0 cosine theta. So other than that, that's the only thing I have different in these two equations. I'm just going to refer to them as vx0 and vy0, even though, just because I don't want to put the sine and the cosine in there. We can come back and do that later. So still, I'm going to use this equation to find the time and then plug it in up here to find the final x this time. So if I use that equation up here, let's put in what we know. I know my final position is 0. My initial position is h. Now this velocity is no longer 0. So it's going to be, I'm just going to write this as plus vy0 t minus 1/2 g t squared. And I want to solve for time. In this case, how do you solve for time? Well, the problem is that I have a constant, a t, and a t squared. Ding, 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 quadratic equation. Okay, so this is of the form 0 equals a t squared plus bt plus c. Then t would be negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Remember that? Okay, so I'm going to write that as t. Now, I do get a plus or minus. I'll leave the plus or minus there for right now. So my b term is right here. So it's vy0. So it's negative vy0. And then I'm going to put plus or minus the square root of b squared, which this is b squared, so vy0 squared, minus 4 times a, that's a. So here I have a 4, negative 4 times negative 1/2. So I'm going to get a plus 2g, and then c is h. And then on the bottom, I get 2a. So here's my a term. So I'm going to get negative g. Those are all just numbers, right? But I think it does show us something because negative, negative. So if I want 2 times, one of those times is actually going to give me a negative number back in the past. So I actually want to use this negative. The positive, if I use the negative right there, it's definitely going to give me a positive number because I'm divided by a negative. So let's choose the negative number. So t, let's go ahead and put in our numbers here. So I get negative, I'll write it out, yep. So t is going to be equal to negative v0, which I never calculated. Let's go ahead and calculate that so I can put this in as numbers. So if I calculate that, I get x1, which is 1.3, enter. Nope. See, that's why I take off my glasses. 1.3, enter. And then g is 9.8, enter. 2 divided by 0.9 divided by square root times. I get 3. Okay. So this is going to be negative 3 sine of 45 minus the square root of 3 squared. I'm just going to go ahead and put that as 9 plus 2 times 9.8 times 0.9, and all of that divided by negative 9.8. I'm going to go ahead and divide everything by negative to make it easier. Okay, so let's put it in our calculator. So I have the 3, and then I have 45 sine, and then multiply that, and then I have 9, enter, 2, enter, 9.8 times 0.9, parenthesis, 0.9 times plus square root plus 9.8 divided by. I get a time of 0.75 seconds. Now I can go back up here and use that time in my x equation. So I'm going to delete this. I only care about the x now. I care about that time. I'm leaving it there. So I want to find the final x. I'm going to call it x2, not to confuse with x1. And my initial x was 0, and my initial velocity is v0 times cosine of theta times t. So let's put in our values. I had v0 was 3 cosine of 45. Make sure your calculator is in radians of degrees, 0.75, and I get an answer of 3, enter, 45 cosine times 0.75 times. I get 1.59. meters. And that's further than it went if you shot it horizontally, okay? Because if I give it a little upward velocity, then it's in the air for a longer time. Yes, I'm decreasing the horizontal velocity, but it's in the air for a longer time. And if you want to play around with this, you can say what angle would give me the maximum distance. You could just keep changing the angle until you get this. Do it in a spreadsheet or Python. It's kind of fun. It's not 45 degrees. 45 degrees is not the maximum angle. Again, that's why I picked 45, so it's not that. Okay, the end. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Talk to you later. Bye.